congrats on the brand new release. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, man.
Absolutely. So why don't we tell the guys what this is, where it came from? We'll answer questions along the way, but why don't you tell the guys what Oh So Juicy is if they've been living under a rock and haven't seen the trailer? And I can show some of the videos while you guys are chatting about it, though. What is it?
Yeah. Do you want to go, Brendan?
I'll start it off. He'll finish it off. Basically, the idea of Oh So Juicy was just to vanish a rapper, but be able to hand the gum sticks out. Like, nice and simple. Just to do a really quick visual trick that is all kind of self-contained and hides itself within itself. So it's actually a really cool thing. We've been working on it a long time. Chris and I have been jamming on it for a long time. Yeah, it's been through many people. He can talk about that. You can continue with that if you want. That's basically, I'll just intro it that way.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't think we need to talk about where it went to get to Murphy's, but I mean, it's been 5 years since the first time, we sat there and went boom and went, oh my, what do we have here?
Nice.
And yeah, it's okay. So long story short, before we really started working with Murphy's, actually before we even met anybody at Murphy's, we were going to do this with Paul Harris, and it just it was really hard to get the gimmick perfect. So I guess after a few years of trying, Paul just decided to say, give it back to us, and then we spent another like 2.5 years trying to fix all of the problems to make sure that when and if it went out to the public, it was ready. And then, yeah, so since we're doing so much with Murphy's, we teamed up with them with Oh So Juicy. And yeah, we've been working the last 3 years now since we actually filmed the first trailer and tutorial part. And it's gone through so many changes since we filmed it. And, now we feel that we're at a perfect point to give it to the public.
Love it. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, sometimes things that take a little longer, it kind of works out because as we were talking even before this, you were coming up with new handlings, new versions of it, even up until the release. So people are getting all this stuff from you guys, which is
like
very cool.
4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, whenever we got back from Magic 5, there was another new handling introduced, which we had to, rush into the trailer and stuff in the tutorials. But
I don't stop.
No, it's never ending. You know what I mean? Like, you can, in my mind, like, you can work on a trick for many years before it's ready. Like coming up with the idea and going, oh wow, this is a great trick, and then it's good enough to release, but is it done? Is the question. I mean, I don't think a trick's ever done, but you have to stop somewhere, right?
Yep, that's true.
But it is important to think of every possible handling, and every possible use of the trick. Like, I find that falls short in a lot of people's things too, is some people get an idea and they just don't run with it. Like there's so many more potentials for stuff. So it's good to have somebody like Chris, that we can jam off of each other and stuff and try and see how many different possible ways are there to actually use this thing, and like, what's the easiest way to do it? What's the hardest way? So there's all different variations basically in this that at least one of them you'll be comfortable with.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like the old saying goes, right? 2 heads are better than one. I mean, you guys.
That's.
I think that's one of the things that makes us, be able to do a little bit more than other people, is because if you really think about it, say Brandon has an idea and he's worked out the whole thing from start to finish. Once he gets to me, I mean, I'm going to have ideas that he didn't think of because we're different people. So as a creator, sometimes you don't want to talk to too many people about your stuff, because then it becomes not your stuff. As to where me and Brandon, it's always our stuff. So it doesn't matter, right? We got two heads are better than one. I mean, we get my style of thinking and his style of thinking, and it brings together usually a pretty beautiful piece of magic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I agree.
Well, we've got some questions coming in already, which is why we're here, obviously, is to help people to learn more about this, find out if it's for them, or maybe they're right there on the fence. Maybe they're just about to buy it and they go, well, I don't know about this. So that's why we're here. So if you guys have any questions that are watching, feel free to go ahead and post those now. We are here to help. The first one that comes in is people asking, is it a gimmick trick. It comes in from my buddy Mark. Is this a gimmick? And more importantly, or more specifically, guys, does this one come pre-made, or is this something that you have to make yourself?
I'll answer the first part. No, it's real magic.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, it's not a gimmick. You get a little bit of magic dust in a bag.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys out there. I know there's got to be, there's got to be something to magic, right? I mean, yes, there's a gimmick that comes with it, but it's a super clever one.
Yeah, and it's ready to go. You open the box, you take it out, and you start playing with it right away. You don't have to do anything.
Very good. That's a very good thing these days, at least for me. When something comes pre-made, I'm not the most handy guy in the world. So,
and just in case this question doesn't come in,
sure.
If anyone's wondering, this would take a bit of work, but the gimmick can be made with any type of gum that you want.
Okay. Cool.
So if you're like, oh, I don't have Oh So Juicy in my wherever I live, which I don't believe will be the situation because that's worldwide. You can take ish. Maybe there's one country that doesn't have it. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you're able to take the gimmick and just kind of remake it, or should I say redress it with whatever gum you want. And we teach you how to do that. But again, like if you want to do that, that's going to take a bit of work. If you're fine with using just the juicy fruit, then you just pull it out of the box and away you go.
Perfect.
Keep in mind, you don't actually technically need the actual, for the actual gum sticks, you can use any gum sticks anywhere. Like it doesn't have to be that branding wrapper like that's what he said. So yeah, literally it can be any stick that you can find, you can make this trick out of.
Cool.
Yeah, that's just it. And if you don't have juicy fruit where you live, like Brandon said, just grab whatever gum sticks you have in your area and stick them under the juicy fruit wrapper. I mean,
yeah, nobody knows because nobody knows if they come in silver foil or this wrapper or a plain white wrapper, or nobody knows.
That's
so
true.
You can use whatever you want.
Yeah, and if you do find somebody that says, hey, juicy fruit doesn't come in that wrapper, well, I mean, I don't think you're going to show that guy anything that he's not going to talk about.
Good luck.
I personally noticed that one of the tricks, I noticed that the silver wrapper, whatever gum tricks that we work on, the silver wrapper, even though the white wrapper looks great and people are familiar with that, the silver wrappers also look really nice if you wanted to try those out. They pop really nice, the foil silver wrappers.
Got it.
If you wanted to, but obviously it's a preference.
Cool. I was just showing some of the nice changes too. I think that's one thing I'd like people to understand as well, is that there's a nice variety of things, not only routine-wise that you can do with this and options, but also the change itself isn't just one way, as you saw here. And I'll actually bring it up again with, I think this is Chris doing this one, a couple of these. You could do actually where you toss the pack down. You can just toss it from one hand to the other. You can also do it where you kind of just drop it from, and then you can slide it across the table, which is personally one of my favorites.
I love that one. The sliding across the tables, I like that one. I do that one when as often as I can. If there's a table, I'll slide it because it's so bloody amazing. Like it just looks, it's out of hands, right? Just boom and done.
I would even say technically, because I do know how this works, another idea that I'm sure you guys have already covered, because of the way that this is made and the way that the gimmick works, you could even do this in someone's hand. You could have them hold out their hands, and you could drop the pack into their hands and have it change into all the gum, pick up the gum. Obviously, you pick up the gum, and then you hand out the couple of the packs. But that would be a pretty cool way to do it, too, in someone else's hands.
Let me cut you off for a minute, because we actually hadn't discussed that. But I was watching, I have the live thing up on my phone just so I can kind of see who's in there and commenting as well.
Okay.
And I was watching that moment where I threw it down into my hand. And I swear, Luke, I just said in my own head, I said, man, you know what? You could probably just throw that right into somebody's hand.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we talk about that on the DVD, actually. But I literally just thought of it, and then you said it, and I'm like, confirmed. You could probably drop it in someone's hand.
Mind powers.
You could, but just FYI, like when you do that,
I know what you're going to say.
Reaching for
Be careful with the gimmick.
You have to have good audience management to do that, and you also don't make it look. If you're going to do that, don't make it look sneaky when you do that. Don't grab it back from them right away.
Right.
Like you want to wait a second and pick them up and say, "Oh, did you want some?" And then hand out what you need to hand out.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely think that in the right situation, you could definitely do that. Yeah. You could definitely do that.
I think you could.
Yeah. Here's another question coming in from another one of our viewers. What's the reset like? This one comes in from Mark. He wants to know,
Well,
this.
I can answer this one.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
The reset is like this.
All right. Nice.
That's the reset. It's like instant.
All
It's
right.
not instant. It takes a second.
Well, I mean, I'm sure everyone knows what I mean when I say instant. Like, yeah, 3 seconds maybe.
Very good. I was also looking through the comments here. Someone we were just talking about, Keith O'Brien, is on. He says hello to you guys as well.
Yeah, what's up, Keith?
Want to
What's up, buddy?
give a shout out to Keith O'Brien. Always good to see him here. Also, some other
Yep.
friends hanging out today.
Good.
Mark Waddington's around. We got Paul Beland. He's around. Peter Burkett. Mr. Burkett, always good to see him as well. A lot of good friends out here. What is the skill level like? Another good question coming in. This one is also from Mark, actually. He's full of good questions. The skill level on this, how hard is it to do at the end of the day?
Are you gang signing people?
0.
Okay.
The skill level is 0. Okay, let me say that again. The skill level is 0 for, let's say, the handling that I actually perform. And I don't use this handling because it takes 0 skill. I use this handling just because it's my favorite way to use it when I use it. But there are a few other handlings that may take a bit of, misdirection or whatever. But it's virtually sleight of hand free if you do the kind of the little more difficult routines. But there's definitely a routine where if you don't know anything about Magic, you can just pick this thing up and perform it.
All right.
That's true.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to say one of the other pieces of this, no pun intended, pieces, whatever,
Yep.
is that yes, my favorite visual moment is, of course, when the pack itself kind of vanishes, just leaving the pack, the strips of gum. I love that. However, there is that little beat before that where the pack, you show it sealed and you give it a little shake and it is open now. The pack, kind of opens itself up, and then you can do the second part there. I just wanted to make sure that was noted here, because in the Facebook video here, I'm going to put up again, you can see the beginning where the pack is being held, it's sealed, and he shakes it and it's now open. That's a beat that I feel like kind of gets lost because of how visual the second part is. And there's Brandon looking cool. Because of how visual the rest of it is, I feel like that part almost gets lost a little bit. So I wanted to make sure people did know that you can do that as well. It's like an added little moment in there.
I'll talk about that for a sec. Yeah,
Okay.
I think when the top opens up, originally I thought, because of how it all worked, I'm like, well, you could separate this into 2 phases.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, why not have it 2 phases? And to be completely honest, I do agree with you in a way that after performing it on the streets and doing the trailers and stuff, I did notice that almost the version where the gum pack vanishes all at once seemed to get stronger reactions. Just being completely honest with you guys, when they see a full pack and the version where the whole pack vanishes, where they see it all the way around and then everything just goes at once. It's that one moment where they lock into whichever way you do it, whether you throw it or do it in the hands or whatever, but the whole pack vanishing at once, that gets really, really strong reactions. I noticed that doing it in 2 phases, you're absolutely correct that the second phase definitely got more reactions than the first one. But when I originally made this, I really thought that the opening of it was going to be like, whoa,
Mhm.
whoa, the back open. I was expecting those reactions. And you're right. When you brought that question up, I'm going to be completely honest. Because I think there's more wrapper vanishing in the second phase, so it's more revealing. So if you do, there's 2 versions where one, you come out and you show it as already opened, and then you vanish the main part of the wrapper.
Mhm.
I think that one will be a go-to out of all of them. And the version where you vanish the whole package at once, I think a lot of the versions are really fun ones to play around with and do. But as far as reactions goes, I think everything else is what's going to get all your reactions.
Yep.
The opening of it, I'm just going to be completely honest. I think you're right.
Well, it's not that it's not It's not
It's
that it's
visual.
not good.
It's visual. It's visual, and it looks good, and it's confusing.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for like something that's going to set somebody back
Right.
a second, like we're like, whoa, 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 what just happened?
Yeah.
You're right. It's not as powerful. It's puzzling. It's visual. So you definitely have both of those elements at the beginning there. That's only if you do the 2-phase part of it. You don't have to do that one. That's only if you choose to do that one. It's still good. I'm not knocking it. It's still good. I just want to be honest about the fact I got stronger reactions with the second finish than the first one.
Yeah, and I also want just to make sure the guys realize that, when they're watching the trailer here, that is something else you can do with it as well. So
100%.
Want to make sure it doesn't get lost. Here's a good question coming in from Cody, and I almost want to give a shout out to Adam Borderline, one of my good friends. Always good to see you, Adam Borderline. Cody Davis has a good question here. He says it might have been talked about already, but how fragile is the gimmick / how often does it need to be replaced? So again, guys, this does come pre-made, but we haven't talked about this, Cody, so good question. Why don't you guys talk a little bit more about the durability of the gimmick that you do receive?
So if you own any of our other products, you will know that all of our stuff we try to give as high end as possible and as durable as possible. And it's the same with Oso Juicy. It's made out of very durable parts. Mm-hmm. So it should last you like a very long time. But
it will.
Let's just say that your gimmick is only going to last you as good as you take care of it. So if you're using it and just whipping it into your case and it's bouncing around with all your other tricks, yeah, I mean, it could break. Yeah. Just wear and tear and getting beat up. If you do what I do with it and it has its own little thing that I put it in, I use it in my show, my hour walk around gig, and then it goes right back into its little holder and in my case.
But it's definitely not fragile. Like, it's definitely not like a fragile gimmick where you have to worry about breaking it. Like, you don't need to worry about it at all. He's just saying, obviously, the longer you take care of your gimmick, the longer it'll last. But it's definitely not fragile, so you don't have to worry about that.
And if it does break on you, it's literally the easiest thing in the world to repair, and we do supply you some stuff to repair it with in the box. So yeah, no worries there either. But I mean, I highly doubt you're going to have to worry about that if you treat it properly. That's all.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the last part about that. If the situation does come up where you have to replace it, there are extra materials included, guys. So if it does happen, they've got you covered there, and they do go over that as well on the instructional how to get all that back going again.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure with this product that customers were just really happy. We didn't want anyone to be, oh, I wish this or I wish that. So we kind of made sure that what you get is ready to go. It's easy to fix. The materials you need to fix it are there, and it's a full package.
Right on.
And there's many options to choose from.
You were mentioning something else as you were talking about that if anyone's purchased any of your other products, how they know the quality is there and that you guys really try to go above and beyond. A comment based around that actually popped up from Rahal. He says, love all your stuff. I still use Swiss Army deck, as I told Chris. I cannot wait to show this new trick to friends. And
I know who that is. Yeah, I know who that is.
So there you go.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad you do it. Anybody who sees the value in a trick, that's the reason that we create magic, is for all the people out there who see the value in it. That's what keeps me making more magic. Knowing that even if there's a handful, we don't need to have the next bestseller trick on the market for me to be happy. As long as there's a lot of you guys out there who are loving it and you're performing it for people and, just enjoying it, then I'm happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
We've got a few people that are watching right now saying that they've pre-ordered this because it is on pre-order, if I'm not mistaken, until Monday. I'm just taking a peek here.
Yes, I think September 16th is the release.
Yeah, just taking a peek here. So it was on pre-order for about a week, which isn't too bad. And it is the 16th, yeah. Another question coming in is how much is it? This is actually $30. Mark was asking, so it is $30. Again, this does come pre-made, ready to go right out of the box. But I would definitely recommend, with any gimmick, as I'm sure you guys will agree to, even if it's there and ready for you to use it, watch the video, make sure you know what you're doing, because that is how you break stuff, is by not reading or learning watching what to do and what not to do. So
Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely. You will when you open the box, you will think, oh, I don't need to watch the video.
course.
But yeah, Luke's right. Watch the video.
Yes, always watch the video all the way from beginning to end, because that's what I do. For every trick I buy or something, I definitely watch the whole video through and make sure, because there's things where you're like, oh, like there's a certain trick I bought a long time ago and I didn't watch the whole video, and then there was a part I missed, which was the best part of the video, and I'm like, oh man, I missed out on so much awesome stuff by not watching certain parts. So yeah, watch it all and soak it all up, and I'm sure there's going to be a few things that they're going to love doing and that'll be easy for them to do right off the hop. Should I mention anything about the, like, just be open to the fact that like they do need to get a package of like any kind of gum like that comes with the gimmick ready to use? I want to bring that to attention.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that you know, we always talked about giving people gum and with the gum tricks and stuff, but it creates an issue with the food industry and shipping food out to people, and otherwise we would love to give you gum sticks and they're ready to go. Actually, while I have this in mind too, is that yes, you will have to get your own gum sticks. It comes with the gimmick ready to go, and it's fine though, because by doing that also, it allows everybody in every country to utilize whatever gum they have. And instead of having to worry about getting juicy fruit, you can just get whatever you get down at your corner store. And you can do it. Now, keep in mind, though, too, you also don't need to be able to find, you know, the 5-packs that come, and it comes wrapped like that. I know most of the states and most places around the world, in Europe and stuff, they have the 5-packs, but you actually don't need the 5-packs for this trick, because the gimmick itself is the wrapper. So you don't need to have that 5-gum wrapper. All you need to do is get those square packages that come with all the gum sticks in it, and just use those. Like, so you don't have to worry about hunting down that size gum pack. You only need the gum sticks.
Cool. Yeah, it's true.
Exactly.
All the stuff that we do here at Murphy's, the one thing we don't do is we don't ship out stuff with like edible stuff in it, like food and stuff like that. Yeah, just safety.
And that's one thing I want to say real quick, because earlier on when I was like, yes, it's ready out of the box. I mean, it is. I guess it is and it's not, because you need your gum sticks. But if you do the version, I don't know if you can show it, Luke, the version where the pack goes into the single gum stick that I eat.
Wrong one. I think it's on this one, actually. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Now, so it's, you know, that you can do out of the box, except for eating the gum, because you still need a gum stick. I'm saying.
There is a version that you do where you don't. There's a version you do where you don't put that you don't have the extra gum stick, where it just turns into a stick and you put it in your pocket, hand it out, and switch. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there is. Just because earlier I was like, yes, out of the box, you know, the gimmick's out of the box, you can make it work, you can play with it, but yeah, you got to go buy a couple gum sticks, unless Brandon said, you do the video or you do the version that you just saw and put it right in your pocket, then you don't need any gum sticks. But regardless, you're still able to play with it right out of the box with no gum sticks, because it still does the same thing with the gum or without the gum.
Cool.
Oh, can I say something quick? All I remember is also if you don't, I think we say this in the video somewhere, I'm not sure, but if you want to, if you don't plan on handing the gum out to anybody, which I recommend you do hand the gum out and use real gum, because you can. Yeah. So I highly recommend you do that. But if you don't, you can always put like fake pieces that like cut up playing card and fold it up and put it inside of the fake gum wrapper, and just glue that together. Like if you have white cardstock or white plastic or just white anything, put it in a gum wrapper, glue it together, the 5 sticks together, 4 sticks in whatever wrapper you want, and you don't actually have to use real gum. Is what I'm saying. Is you could just have it with you all the time, and you don't have to worry about handing the gum out and replacing your gum. If you want to do a version where it's just fake gum, and I'm not sure if we covered that in the video, but that is an option for you to consider if you don't really care about handing it to anybody, or if them seeing that it's actually real gum. Like if you're just going to do the visual and then show it's gum sticks and put it in your pocket and move on with your tricks, then that's also an option.
Cool.
And hey, real quick, sorry, Luke, I know you're the guy asking the questions, but because I'm actually looking at them come in live as well, I wanted to just answer this question because I think it's important.
Okay.
Peter Burkett is just asked if you've given out a piece of gum, do you have to put another one in for the gimmick to go again? the answer is no. But I would, just because when you vanish the pack, you want to have, 4 or 5 sticks of gum. If you're down to like 3 sticks, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could do it. You don't have to replace the gum, but I would probably stick, make it full again to go to my next group or table or whatever.
Well, that's kind of why I mentioned that if they don't want to replace gum sticks, they could just make fake gum sticks.
Right, but most people would probably want to give out a stick or so just, for that extra proof.
I think they should. I think you should give out the gum sticks. It makes it more powerful, but that's, like I said, there's options.
But if you're doing magic for a child, they may not take the gum because they've always been told you do not take candy from strangers, even if they're magicians.
That's true. Don't offer candy to kids.
Don't put strangers' gum in your bag.
I'm just trying to be part of the combo. I don't know. This is a question that popped in as we were chatting here too. Angle restrictions. This one comes in from Daniel Ricks. Let's talk about the angles on Oh So Juicy. What are they looking like with this guy?
I'm going to say they're looking real good. They're,
exactly. Your only bad angle is you. You are the bad angle.
Yeah, as long as you're holding it like close to you. Like let's say you're surrounded literally 360 degrees. You're in the very center. All you would have to do is hold it close to your body or down here or wherever, and you'd be perfectly fine. I don't see any situation where this would be an angly trick.
And Brandon, keep in mind that I would say you don't have to worry about it, because when you come out of your pocket, your hand, when you come out of the pocket for the person where you're showing all the way around, your hand is covering your angle issues. So there's actually, and you're showing it all the way around. So your hand is the cover. And if you're doing the version where he holds it here or whatever, then you're blocking your only bad angle, really. So you don't have to worry about it.
Sorry, Brandon. If you look at the clip that Luke just played, where Brandon throws it down into his hand, you could do that 360 degrees with cameras all around you as well. And like Brandon said, there's 0 angle issues because your hand is covering the only bad angle issue there is.
That's right.
Yeah. So I would say, honestly, if you have angle issues with it, then you're doing something wrong.
All right. Good to know. Yeah. I had a chance to check all of these things, all of the little clips out, and just loving the visuals on this kind of stuff. It's amazing what you can do with a pack of gum with the visuals there, which is just amazing. And for some reason, my thing is friction.
Cody, to answer that question, you don't have to adapt your gimmick to different routines. Sorry?
Yeah. No. I was about to ask you. I was actually looking at the questions as you guys were talking too. I'm going to bring it up on the screen so you can kind of address it. Cody's question, you guys can see there. Do you need to adapt it for the 2-phase routine? So you just mentioned the answer is no for that, right?
Yeah, you don't have to adapt the gum. It doesn't change. So the gimmick's the gimmick. It's just depending on how you're going to use it changes. Just the routine you're going to perform. Got it.
All right. Good to know. And again, that's why we're here, guys, to try to help answer those type of questions that are popping up, that you might want to know here. How easy, we talked about this earlier, Jason, he's just joining us. He wants to know how easy is it for a newbie to perform this trick? #noob. How easy again, guys?
#easy.
Hashtag non-magician easy.
There you go.
If you've never done a magic trick in your life, you can do this trick.
Very good. Here's another little idea / question. Matthew David Sheely, one of our regular viewers, nice to see him around. He says, talking about using cards in the gum wrappers, could you force a card and do the pack to single stick that Chris did and have the card in the wrapper instead of a gum? So as a card revelation, could you do that? And I see Chris nodding. So
because Brandon actually made that up years ago. We just didn't add it into the DVD or anything. So the answer is absolutely, you could have a card inside there, and away you go.
Wait.
Yeah, you totally could.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. People are already thinking of different ways to use the gimmick, and that's exactly what we mean by Chris saying, every time we take a trick and put it in somebody else's hands, they go, Oh man, I didn't even think about that. So that's why Magic's exciting that way.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? I'm really excited because, oh, actually, I read a comment on the Magic Calf. Now, I don't think this person's watching, or I have no idea. But, oh crap, I forget what I was going to say. Okay, let me think about that again. I got sidetracked trying to think.
I can pull up the cafe while you're thinking here. What was it about here? Let me.
Let's
see if I can find it.
What the heck was it? I wanted to address this.
You just think about it for a second, because I had something. Was it about the social media thing?
Oh yes, exactly. Thank you, Rick. Somebody said. Someone said because one of the comments made on, I believe, the ad copy.
Yeah, it's the ad copy.
Great for social media.
Yeah.
And someone on the Magic Calf said, oh, so does this mean it's only good for social media?
Right.
The answer's no. It's not. It's 100% a working trick you can do comfortably at your shows, at your restaurants, wherever. But it's great for social media because it's super visual. So and again, it's super easy. So
it is.
You know, for anyone else who's wondering, that's the only reason why we said great for social media, because it just is. If we
didn't get reactions from doing it, and if we didn't go out and get reactions from it, we probably wouldn't release it. You know what I mean? I'm like, if we knew that we couldn't do it in real life for somebody at a gig, or like as you see in the trailer, just for random people on the streets, well, we probably wouldn't release it. So yeah, you can do it in real life, and we just mean it's a great visual magic that is something that's actually happening in a video where it's not a lie. You know, like you're actually visually seeing that happening. So it's great for social media videos, but yes, you can totally go and knock this out at a gig and get people's eyes popping.
I'm really curious to see actually what people do with this on Instagram, because I feel like once it goes out, there's going to be a lot of Instagram videos popping up with this on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I should probably start pumping all them on my social media before anybody else putting them up.
and if you guys watching are gonna pick this up and do that, make sure you tag not only Murphy's Magic so we can reshare it, which is something we do a lot on our Instagram in particular, and sometimes on Facebook. But also make sure you tag these guys. I know Brandon David is Brandon David Magic, if I'm not mistaken, on Instagram. And Chris Turchi, I believe, is Chris Turchi Magic, if I'm not mistaken, on Instagram. So
yeah, that's BCM.
There you go. So, tag away. Tag. There you go. Sweet.
That's right.
Let me look at the questions and make sure we're not missing anything else here. Yeah, and that is something I wanted to address too, so I'm glad you mentioned it, because in the ad copy we do state that. But as Chris just mentioned, it's definitely not to say that this is only for the medium of online. This is something you can definitely do in the real world, as they call it too. So yeah, and
sorry, I just want to say, yes, Mark, you're absolutely right. A good magician can do any trick on social media and in real life, but there are a lot of people who aren't necessarily seasoned magicians who might want to play with this trick. So, you know, we got to be fair to the skill level of everybody, not just maybe you're a great magician. I know I can do. I mean, I used to make wine, like full-size wine bottles appear in close-up. Like, I mean, you can, if you want to do it, you could do it. Like, I mean, it just depends on your skill level. That's all.
Yep. Well said. Very well said. Also, someone mentioned, as we start to wrap this up, no pun intended, Matthew David Sheely also had another good suggestion. He says, this would be a great combined with Sticky Situation. A little routining with both could make a nice combo. So the reason I'm mentioning that is another great trick with gum, but also that you could use this, and it's from their response, it looks like they've either done that or have suggested that. But you can take this and you can combine it with other things. So with any trick that you buy, is where I'm getting at, that don't just look at it as, okay, here's a trick I can just do, and how can you actually slide it into your repertoire or make it into a routine with other stuff? And they're laughing, so I'm just going to shut up and see what they're saying. It's probably on the DVD and I haven't watched it, or the.
No, it has nothing to do with you, Luke. I promise.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know if we're allowed to even say it, so I'm just going to keep it as a I wonder what those guys were laughing at.
We have a trick coming out as well that would complement this as well.
Okay. Any?
Yeah.
I like to do this when I get people on here. Any info you can give me about this next trick? Anything?
Well, it's with Murphy's.
Okay, I know that much, but I'm reaching here. Come on.
I guess the question is, how much are we allowed to say, Luke? Because I mean, do you know what we're laughing at?
This one's going to be a while. This one's not going to come out for a while, so I don't know how much we want to tease it right now. We have a lot of stuff coming out before that's going to happen.
Okay.
So maybe we should just leave that as a mystery for now.
But it's been filmed with Murphy's already, so it is definitely coming out. It's just it's in a specific lineup.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys will probably really like that one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Any last thoughts that you guys wanted to say about Oh So Juicy before we start to wrap this up? I usually try to go about 30 minutes. I've gone a little over, but this is what it looks like, guys. You've been seeing the different clips popping up as we've talked here. But Brandon, David, Chris Turchi, any last words about Oh So Juicy? You want people to make sure that they know something I missed here, or just something in general, because it is your baby here. So.
I think definitely once you finish watching the video first, play with the gimmick a lot and just get used to it. Just get used to doing it over and over again. Just like any trick, just do it so much before you go out and do it for anybody. Like, just sit there and practice. It's an easy trick to do, so it's not going to be hard to figure out. You're not going to spend hours rehearsing and practicing. It's super simple. So just sit there and do it like for one night at least before you go to school the next day. Like spend a good all night practicing it, or a good 2 days at least before you go out and start showing people, just to get used to it, and resetting it and doing this and just doing everything from beginning to end, and choosing the version which choose the version which you think you'll like the best, and stick with that for a while and rock that out to your friends and your family. And then if it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, then try a different version. Don't be discouraged by maybe a version that wasn't a perfect fit for your personality or your pattern or whatever, or just wasn't working for you. Try something else in the DVD, because you might get results with something else that you didn't get with a different version. So try all the different versions out is what I'm saying. Don't just get stuck on one. Try everything out and play around with all of them and see what gets the best reactions for you, and then stick with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stick with
what he said.
Stick.
Yeah, stick with it.
With that.
There's a lot of gum puns in here, man.
It's full of the gun puns today, Luke.
And if you guys hate the trick, you're gonna love our clip of us after in the tutorials. Little gum surprise later on.
All right.
Yeah, if you watch the tutorials right to the end, I apologize for what you see.
I need to skip to the end, because I watched the beginning, but I haven't watched the end. Okay.
You didn't watch the end? Yeah, we have little Easter egg things at the end of all of our tricks. We kind of do something. So if you stick around and watch it, we usually always have something funny or fun that we mess around with.
All right.
Yeah, and let's just say we had way too much gum left over from the shoot. And Murphy said paid for it, so it had to go somewhere. Let's just say that.
All right. I will have to check that out. Also, I wanted to...
I hope everybody enjoys this. I really do. I really hope that people see the value in it, and I really hope they have fun with it. And, that's all we could hope for. Also,
I would say the timing is really good here, as Daniel Ricks mentions, which I didn't even put two and two together here. He says, this is perfect for Halloween. Ask if they want a trick or treat, and then show them the trick with the treat.
Oh, so, I like that idea. That's really good.
And then give them gum with razor blades in it.
Don't do that.
Why is this gum a playing card folded up? What is...
I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what? You could fold your business card up and put it in the gum sticks and offer them a stick of gum, and they open it up and it's your business card instead of a stick of gum.
Word will spread very quickly, not to go to that house. Ryan Edwards is here as well. I want to give him a shout out. He also says, I saw this about 3 or 4 years ago when they first came out with it, and it was eye candy then. I'm sure it's even better now. So, of course, I got to hang out with you guys and Ryan. So I want to make sure we...
5 years ago, Ryan. 5 years.
5 years ago. Hey, what's up, Ryan?
3, 4, or 5 years ago.
What's up, buddy? Oh, and hey, Dan Morsey's on too.
Hey, what's up, Dan? What's up,
Dan Morsey was owner of one of the greatest magic shops of all time. One of the my favorite places.
Dan's father started it.
Yes.
I was going to ask if it was Morsey's magic.
50 years, and that was the saddest day of my life when it closed. Love you, Dan.
Yeah, we miss you, buddy.
Well, boys, I'm going to let you roll here. We've gone quite a bit over the usual time, but hey, it's for a good reason. You guys, one, it's fun to have two of you to chat with, and then second, there's just a lot of good questions and a lot of good comments. I think that one of my favorites that I wish I had thought of was, yeah, this is great for Halloween. So if you guys are looking for something that's not like, geeky, that's not bloody and gory, definitely check this out and do it during the Halloween season. It's perfect for Magic with Candy. There you go. So, yeah.
I agree, actually. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, boys, thank you for your time as always. I'm sure that we'll be chatting again sometime in the near future, but hope actually to run into you guys in person again, because we had a blast in Las Vegas when you were here. So I hope that happens again sooner than later,
Me too, man. Me too.
Yeah, we did. Luke's awesome. We all know that. Luke's awesome. Chris awesome. Murphy's Magic is awesome. And everybody's awesome. And you guys.
There we go. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to wrap things up. So thanks again for your time, and we will catch you later, man. Both of you guys.
All right.
Okay.
Easy.